Well, it's been a while, so it's good to just get back in there.
Guess who's back? Back again. Film Hands Podcast is back.
And that's the
Recommend to your
intro.
friend.
Welcome, everyone. We are back. Thank you, Paul. Uh, Paul, Paul is here. I am here.
Hello.
Katie is here. I'm not saying
Hello.
surnames. We're not going to make a big deal of it on Katie's request.
If if you've been listening to us long enough, you should know our names. And if you don't, you could just look us up. We are all on the internet.
We're very Googleable.
Yeah, don't Google some of the guests we've had on. I don't know.
What?
That was just a joke. But you can Google them all and see what comes up. Let's do that. That could be what we do at the end of the podcast.
Let's just Google someone.
It's because Becky Sace runs a puppy farm. You heard it here first, lads.
It's Gavin, I'm worried about, to be honest. Gavin's the one I'm worried about, and he's the one that could bring us all down with him as
We're
the
all worried
editor.
about Gavin.
Yeah.
The new leadership.
So, Katie, everyone's been
Yes.
excited. Everyone's been asking me. Paul especially has been like, "Where's Katie? Where's Katie? I miss Katie." I said, "Which
Where's Mum
Katie?
gone? Why won't Mum come back?
Who's
Yeah.
Katie?"
I was going to say, all the review editors are probably like, thank fuck, she disappeared for a few weeks. But I'm back.
Where have you been?
I have been in Cannes and have been overwhelmed with work. So buried under a pile of work and then traveled to Cannes, came back, was reburied under that work. That's where I've been.
Are you allowed to say which film you were there for?
I can say what film I was there for because if people Google me, they're gonna find out anyway.
Yeah.
So,
What film were you at Cannes to push on the French and other nationalities?
well, I was gonna say I was okay. So first off, just to clear the air, I was not there as press, sadly, and I saw no films but the film I was there for work.
Yeah,
Um,
not film hounds, just to make
Not
that
Film
clear.
Hounds. Sorry,
No.
guys. We did have other people there from Film Hounds, so we do have a few reviews like that should be out on the website right now. And a few more to come, I think. But yeah, so I was there for work, and you say to push on the French. The French actually were also pushing the film because it's sold in France. In
I
fact,
did it.
this film is
Oh, we
this
love
film
the film.
this film is coming out everywhere from June 6th and will be releasing throughout the world from that date on various other dates. I won't go through the entire release schedule for this.
When's it out in Azerbaijan? When's it out in Bucharest?
Did you say the film?
I haven't said it yet. I'm building up
Okay,
to
sorry. Build up.
So this film is called Dangerous Animals. It's It's the serial killer shark film we have all been waiting for.
Especially the French, apparently.
Oh, the French actually were very excited. So
L'animal de dangereux. Oh.
Actually, yeah, they kept the same name as well. And
Wow.
so they're releasing in July in France. But it comes out, more importantly for everyone, probably most of the listeners here, it's coming out in the US, UK, and Canada, all on the 6th of June. But yeah, so I was going to say in the screenings, I can tell you about this because it's common knowledge now. There was a lot of screaming.
Oh.
There was a lot of screaming in the screening I was in, and apparently in other screenings that they had after the premiere, there was somebody who even fainted and literally had to be carried out of the screen. David, it was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, so
You snuck in.
I'll think about seeing this one. I'll consider it. I'm brave. I'm a brave boy, as we know now. But
you're a brave boy. You're a brave boy. You've seen some scary films, but you know, no, it's not a surprise that that the French Cannes snapped up Dangerous Animals, as they invited a couple of dangerous animals themselves, didn't they?
Do you know what? This year I was very far removed from the Palais. I literally probably passed it a couple of times, but I avoided it because it gets too busy. And usually, so for anyone who hasn't been to Cannes, everyone knows the famous steps, right? The famous red carpet that lead up to the Palais.
Yep.
And the whole rule about when you get to the top of the steps, you're not allowed to take photographs. Literally, the security will jump at you. They will dive at you to stop you from taking photos. Not even kidding. Happened to me once. I'm saying, oh my God.
What a bunch of Nazis, man. Just let me take a picture.
Oh, they don't allow it. It's insane. Also, like walking the red carpet as like, as a pleb, you get a ticket. You get a ticket. But what you do, you have to go in between when everyone's sort of taking photographs. So you are literally like, it's sort of like when you're, in like war films when they're sort of like, go, go,
The
go.
trenches.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what
You're in
it's
the
like.
trenches.
You spend less than 10 seconds walking that carpet. They don't want riffraff on the carpet.
Do you know
have
what,
to
though?
run.
Is that why you
Do you
had a
know what,
helmet
though?
on?
Yeah, and I had gloves just in case. Yeah.
A couple of times I've not, because not normally we go to press screenings, which are very nice and very lovely, but occasionally we get to go to actual premieres with big famous Hollywood movie stars, and it's always really awkward because one, some people who are just plebs like me will dress up really smart, and then there's just me, a fat bald man with round glasses and a cardigan. And what's great is that you all have to walk down the same red carpet. And I remember showing up to the premiere of Mobland, the Paramount Plus series, and they had like Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan and Tom Hardy, and they were like loads of autograph hunters and fans with cameras, and then just Fat Boy here walks down the red carpet, and they're looking like, oh. And it happened again at Thunderbolts, because they got like, everyone's like, where's Florence Pugh? Where's Wyatt Russell? Where's Sebastian Stan? Where's all these celebrities? And then just Pudgy here, trundling down. And it's getting to a point where I'm contemplating lying and saying that I am someone important.
You should. All you need to do is wear sunglasses on the red carpet.
I think one day I might go up and be like, do you want my autograph? I'm Jake Schreier. I directed Thunderbolts. I'm just thinking,
say you're a producer or exec producer, because nobody knows who they are.
I'm Louis Desposito. I'm one of the senior chairs of Marvel. Would you like my autograph?
Yeah.
Have you been have you been booed before?
No, I've never been booed, but I have seen the looks of disappointment when they see your shadow as you walk around sometimes, and they're like,
like, who is it? Oh, it's you. So actually there was a very awkward moment, and I had a bit of a panic attack because after the screening of Dangerous Animals, I didn't want to have to climb the stairs because I was like, I'm tired. I just want to get the lift. So
carry me, Jai Courtney. You're a big, strong boy. Lift me, you big Aussie hunk.
Oh my God! Actually, Jai Courtney is as big as he is on screen. He is hench.
He looks, yeah, he's Australian. He looks like he's built like a tree.
He's a tank as well, man. He is.
Yeah, he looks it.
He's a statue. Like
he's grown on me. I didn't like him.
He's a very nice guy as well. He's very chill.
I didn't like him when he was doing shit, but then he did Suicide Squad, and I liked him in that. So
I liked him. Cool, it was the only good thing in Suicide Squad. But so after the screening, I was like, screw it, I'm getting the lift. And the lift is actually situated quite far away from where the screen actually is in the Theatre Croisette. Because it's for Directors Fortnight. So Dangerous Animals was in Directors Fortnight, not at the Palais, just to be clear. So which is in the Marriott Hotel. Ooh. And I didn't realize this. I got into the lift thinking totally fine. The doors opened out to what I thought was the exit, and it's actually the main foyer of the nice fancy hotel that would never ever let the likes of me walk in freely. And I was approached by security. I was approached by some people from reception. I was approached by some more security, all asking, what are you doing here? Can we help you? What are you doing here? I was like, I just want to get out. I want to get out of here. Please tell me how I get out. And I was like, I need to get to the exit near the Theatre Croisette. And they kept telling me to go back downstairs. I was like, no. I took the lift. Can you just tell me where to go? I ended up very awkwardly walking throughout this very like futuristic looking hotel. And I went out a door and I was like, okay, look, I've just got to get out of here. It was the front door where all the famous people come out of. And there happened to be a lull in foot traffic coming out of this hotel. You push the revolving door, and there's all the security lined up, and all these people in like press pens waiting to see who's coming out of the door. And it's me, very red in the face, very flustered, going, "Where the fuck am I?" And I quickly looked around, paused, and I was like, "I gotta go." And I literally ran down the stairs and ran to the party because I was like, "This
Were
is
you the one
totally
grabbing Denzel
embarrassing."
Washington's arm on the red carpet, asking him where to go? Hey, Denzel! And he's like,
Did you
That
get
would be
papped?
me.
I want to see the pictures.
I don't know. There's probably some hideous
Shock
looking
face.
pictures out there. There's some nice pictures from the party, but other than that, like there's probably some pictures of me in the background, like looking like the red-faced, like
Can
weirdo.
genuinely
Also,
sounds like hell on earth. It
I
genuinely
also
sounds
chose an
like hell
outfit
on
where
earth.
I also chose an outfit where I looked like I was wearing pajamas, so it couldn't have got worse.
But like, just I was hearing
Is that
stories that they
fashion?
were like, I was just hearing all kinds about. I just do London Film Festival where the biggest drama is having to get up early and stand in a queue, and because London is a toilet, it just smells like piss. And so you just first thing in the morning stood outside the Picture House Central, going, all I can smell is stale urine, and I just want to sit down and watch a Mike Leigh film, and then you do, and that's it.
This is where
And
you're going wrong. Because like you should
the
be like
biggest
me.
dramas.
Wear a tuxedo everywhere you go, because you never know.
Never know another.
Even
You
in
look
the Odeon,
important.
just wear a tuxedo.
Oh
I'm
my
quite an
gosh.
important man, you see. I'm actually with Marvel Studios.
You don't have to
What are you
say
gonna do?
anything, actually. If you just wear a tuxedo, do you know what? Lots of people just I was going to say, sorry to bring us back to Cannes, but everybody wears like ball gowns and tuxedos, even when they don't have a ticket, and they do it in the hope that they could possibly maybe get in on like someone going, "Yep, got a spare ticket, here you go." And
That
yeah,
literally
so
sounds like my father-in-law on a plane. He's like, if you wear a shirt and tie in an airport,
Yeah.
they will bump you up to business class. And I'm like, that's never happened. He's like, happens to me all the time. And I'm like, yeah, but you're in your 60s, man. He's like a 60s man in a shirt and tie, and they're like, you can go business class. I could have seen Dangerous Animals. There was a lovely screening with a nice photo op, and I was all set to go. And then I got offered something I was desperate to see. And it was called The Life of Chuck, the new film by Mike Flanagan. And it's really good, guys. It's really good. Also, it's like the polar opposite of Dangerous Animals, because I'm assuming Dangerous Animals is like violent and scary and gory.
oh
And
yeah, lots of
Life
gore.
of Chuck is like a warm hug. A nice warm hug of a movie. It's like, even though it's weird because from the poster, it's like from Mike Flanagan, who like made Midnight Mass, uh, Ouija, Origin of Evil, Doctor Sleep, Haunting of Hill House, like loads of horror shit. And it's from a novella by Stephen King, who like does loads of horror shit. And it's actually a lovely little story told in reverse order about the life of a man named Chuck.
We could have played
And
guess his name.
Guess his
Yeah,
name.
I know.
I
Fancy
was
Could
name,
gonna,
have
crazy guy.
could have been a
I
very
was
long
gonna,
game. Could have been the
I
rest of the
was,
episode.
I was gonna guess
Exactly.
Chuck.
I was going
Well,
to get Chuck Norris.
Oh.
The Life of Chuck Norris. That's what it is. It's a biopic about Chuck Norris.
But we're going to be disappointed now because it's not the life
It's
of
not
Chuck
about
Norris.
There's a lot more dancing in Chuck Norris's life than I expected.
Oh, there's dancing.
There
So
is dancing.
it's not horror. Stephen King,
It's
but
not
not
a horror. No, it's like a science fiction drama. So basically, it starts at Act 3 and it moves backwards, and it's hard to describe because it slowly reveals its sort of secrets and stuff. But the basic opening is that the world is slowly ending,
Oh,
and we follow this lovely teacher played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, called Marty, who wants to reunite with his wife, Felicia, as the world ends. And then suddenly we get to Act 2, and we're no longer in the end of the world. We're watching Tom Hiddleston as a boring accountant decide that, spur of the moment, he's going to dance to a drumming busker and rope in a young lady. And the crowds gather, and he just feels the urge to dance like his grandma used to dance, even though he's suffering from mind-numbing headaches as he does so. And then the film goes back to reveal Charles's childhood, and it's from if I said Stephen King, you think The Shining, you think Salem's Lot, you think Carrie, but this is the Stephen King of Stand By Me, of Shawshank Redemption, of Green Mile, and it's a very sweet-natured film. And if you like Mike Flanagan stuff, it's got all his regulars. His wife's in it. Mark Hamill is in it. Carl Lumley, who we spoke to, Filmhound spoke to Carl Lumley, so he's a cool guy. We love him.
Mark Hamill he's not a regular, is he?
He is now, because he was in Fall of the House of Usher, so he's now become a regular.
Oh my god! Of course, he was in the House of Usher. I can't. Okay, yeah.
And
I remember now. Yeah.
The film is full of really lovely speeches, lots of stuff to do with dance, lots of stuff to do with embracing the little moments in life that make life. Basically, the tagline says every life is a universe. And it's that kind of a film. It's really sweet-natured, and there's a beautiful moment in it where Mark Hamill plays this character, Chuck's grandfather. He's an accountant, and he explains that maths is magic. And it's one of these scenes that, when you say it out loud, Mark Hamill, as a grumpy old Jewish accountant, tells you that maths is magic. Sounds like the dumbest thing in the world. But Mark Hamill is such a great actor, and the writing is so lovely that it's one of the most moving scenes in the film. And I really like this. I do like Mike Flanagan's work. I like Stephen King's stuff, but I think this is one of those films that people will probably discover on telly or on Netflix or something and be like, "You ever see that Life of Chuck? That was actually a really great movie. That was really good. I really liked it." It's one of those ones. It leaves you with a nice feeling.
Will it be at the cinema?
Sorry. Oh yes, it will be at the cinema.
I think it is, but it's not for a while though. It's like end of July, August. So it's weird that, but it was at the Toronto Film Festival where it won the People's Choice Award, and previous nominees and winners of the People's Choice Award include Honora, Green Book, The King's Speech. So
can't forget The King's Speech. Always believe. Yeah.
So
I was going to say this is another neon. This is another neon vehicle, so there is a very good chance that this Life of Chuck will actually probably parade its way onto some other bigger platform.
When it won the People's Choice, the two other nominees for the People's Choice of Best Film was Honora and Emilia Perez, and we know how well they did at the Oscars.
Emilia Perez didn't win? Are you kidding me?
And it's not hard to see why. In a similar way to like Coda or Green Book, it's a film that it's 15 rated because it's got some strong language in it.
Okay.
It's narrated by Nick Offerman. I forgot to say that. It's narrated by Nick Offerman at his most She was walking down the road and she thought, this is shit. It's absolutely... Yeah. How much Nick Offerman narration can you take? He's probably like, she stopped, looked around, then carried on. And it's that kind of thing. But I think it's got the potential to be a lot of people's sort of a film that really uplifts them. I really enjoyed it.
What favorite film of the year, do you think?
Yeah, it's not as good as Sinners. It's not as good
as Sinners. Okay. Do you know what? I still haven't seen Sinners.
Sinners is still at number one. Life for Chuck has gone into my top 10. Because I really did love it. It's one of those films that does say to you, life's actually pretty great, guys, and people are kind of wonderful. And do you know what?
Sorry, my immediate reaction to that is, oh, but that's because,
I might be making it sound more twee than it is.
It sounds so sweet and saccharine, but I can understand why people like these kind of
bit of sugar.
I get it. People do love these movies because I guess if you're a hardened criminal, I mean, if you're hardened to the likes of these sentimental films, like I feel I am, it takes a lot for me to be moved. But I am coming from a place where I have to read a lot of shit scripts.
No, I would say that it's a lot like it's very Mike Flanagan, except there are no really great jump scares. There's actually one jump in it. Funnily enough, there is a jump scare in it, but it's not a horror film. So, but all the other stuff that if you watch like Midnight Mass, where they have these long conversations about existence and life and, Doctor Sleep and things like that, there's a lot of the Flanagan I really like this actor. Let's give him a speech. You're like, all right, Mike, I know that you love your wife and she's a good actress, but I don't have to always see her doing a speech about life, man. Like,
Yeah, I
she's
was gonna
great, but
say that's a bit much. She's fine, but like, can we not? Can we
Mhm.
just? Um, yeah, I have to. I was gonna say like Mike Flanagan is a hit and miss for me, and there's a lot of misses personally. I really loved House and Haunting Hill, and I actually liked the campiness of House of Usher or Fall of the House of Usher,
I
but
liked House of Usher a lot.
I hated Midnight Mass because I was just like, I was so disappointed by that's the twist, and everyone's just gonna believe this. Everyone's just gonna go along with, okay. I don't want to ruin it in case anyone hasn't seen it, but
I
I just found the
love Midnight
twist to
Mass.
be not a twist and the reveal to be too slow. And I found it just, I did not find, I was not moved by any speech in that show
Oh,
at all. I was like, can we just end this? Can we set the island on fire and have done with it?
oh, I
But
adored
that's
Midnight
but
Mass.
I understand a lot of people love it and everyone loves Mike Flanagan. And I think I was the one that I said in the group chat, I was saying how like I why is everyone so excited about Life of Chuck? But now that you've said this, and I've heard a few other people say the same thing about how it's just like, as you said, it's a warm hug and how we don't often get these films that just feel like, oh,
It's
that
just
was actually
very
quite uplifting.
uncynical. And I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of cynicism in cinema. There's a lot of, you can't even like I like Marvel movies, obviously, but there's a lot of times where they feel the need to undercut any emotion by doing something flippant. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's okay to just have a little bit of emotion, guys. It's okay.
I'm sitting here cynically thinking back to what you said at the start. Did you say that it was the end of the world and he decided to go back to his ex-wife?
He did because
What the? What a waste.
because all the little moments of life don't matter in the face of the end, and you realize what's important. And also, if your ex-wife is Karen Gillan, you would reunite with her
Fair,
because she's gorgeous.
fair enough.
You'd reunite with Karen Gillan, especially if you're Chiwetel Ejiofor. Two very good-looking people. Matthew Lillard's also in it. Got nothing to do with anything else, but I was like,
It's just in it.
Shaggy,
He's just in it.
Shaggy,
Um,
Scooby Doo.
I was going to
Oh
say,
God.
and did it
I need
have?
a shot.
Oh,
You said Scooby Doo. I had a shot.
oh God, yeah, we didn't do that. I should do a shot. That's good. Um, so I had a question as well about the end of the world thing
Oh yes,
because I have a mortal fear of the end of the world and cannibals. But yeah, so if you put those two together, you got a cannibal apocalypse. I will never ever see that film. But and I know how David feels about cannibals, but
I love it.
but is there a reason? Is there any explanation for the end of the world? Like, is it just sort of like everyone's accepting it and like, oh, it's happening? Like, you know that film with Keira Knightley and Steve Carell?
Seeking a friend for the end of the world.
Yeah, I can't watch that film. Just from the trailer, I was like, I'm gonna have anxiety watching this
It's
entire thing. But I was just wondering about what is there a big point to the fact that it begins with everyone knows it's the end of the world?
it slowly reveals why, but it's the kind of end of the world, a bit like the road, where the world is like just kind of shutting
Also,
down.
cannot deal with the road
I can't
So
watch.
for
I
obvious
can never watch that
reasons.
again.
so
I
the
watched it
the
once.
apocalypse is less it's less like Armageddon, and it's more just sinkholes are opening up, the internet's failing, the world is just shutting down slowly. It's a very slow process. I mean, it explores the grief of being like, the end is coming, we can't help it, what do we do? Certain people would like, we just carry on as normal, and other people are like just depressed about it. And then it's a very jarring opening, because I did spend the beginning going, what, 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 but by the end you're like, oh, okay,
There's a
right,
reason. It's not
I get
like
it.
okay, just to compare it to another show that probably no one ever saw, but that there was a show called The OA on Netflix.
I heard of it. I never saw it. No,
I've
you're
heard of
right.
it because I remember hashtag save the OA,
And they're just two
It was not
letters.
saved.
and it was not saved. You know,
No.
hashtag didn't fucking work, did it?
But there was so I actually sat through that show and I was really hating the entire thing. But I was like, I got to see how it ends because I got to understand the point of it. And weirdly enough, like right at the end, literally like a couple of scenes before the end, there is a scene where everything makes sense. And I kind of was like, oh my God, this show is amazing. And but I was really not enjoying it until that moment where I was like, oh my God, this all makes sense. This is why. And I never watched the second series because I found out it got cancelled because I was like, oh, I can't get into this. I can't do another second series and find out there's no ending to it. So I was like, let me just live with the first series. But I was going to say, is Life of Chuck going to be like that? Where you're sitting going like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, the ending. Oh, now everything makes sense. And I like it now.
It's not. Yeah, there's basically a conversation that kind of illuminates it, and you're like, right, I'm with you now.
Okay.
But it won't be for everyone. It won't be for everyone. But it did appeal to me because there was dancing and there was life affirming and there was sentimentality, and occasionally even a cynic like me just needs a moment to go, you know what, it's all going to be okay.
I think you're more sentimental out of the three of us because I feel like me and David are like, what the fuck is this
No,
life
I am.
affirming shit?
Yeah, I will not cry.
Do you know what? I think I'm horrifically for someone so miserable, I am horrifically sentimental. I actually think that's what makes me so sad is my sentimentality. Do you know what nostalgia literally translates as? A yearning for home.
Oh
There you
God,
go.
that's so depressing.
There you go.
Um,
Oh,
And that's
I
it for
didn't know
Filmhouse.
that.
violin. Just with
I'm at up on the Salisbury Hill.
so when we talk about these films now, I'm really, I might see this film at the cinema if it's convenient for me, Paul. Thank you for your review. Next, but I was like, just moving on. Like, there's something out at the moment that in the past I'd be like, yes, I'm gonna go soon, first day. But the new Wes Anderson's film, I'm kind of not eager. I had a
No,
couple of
I've fallen out with Wes
yeah,
Anderson, I'm
same.
afraid.
Katie looks sad about that, but
A bit.
I'm sad because I really love Wes Anderson and I was really desperate to see the Phoenician Scheme, but it's because I've been sort of like, dead inside and outside for the last month. I just haven't had the energy to
yeah,
go. And it's just, and I'm really annoyed. Why did it come out now? Couldn't have waited a month or something, but I understand why everyone's fed up with that Wes
Do
Anderson
you know what
because
it is?
I
It's a
didn't
bit like Tim
understand the
Burton.
trailer. I was like, what's this story?
yeah.
I mean, I love the cast, and I was like, Michael Cera in a Wes Anderson
Yeah.
film about fucking time.
I'd like to see him do a film with like two people and see how he does it.
Have you seen Bottle Rocket? That's got three people in it, plus
Yeah.
James Caan.
My
Uh,
problem is that he has fallen into the Tim Burton trap, which is that his films are so like Tim Burton. When Tim Burton first started, it was like, oh my God, this guy is like nuts. So great. Look what he's doing with this. Look what he's doing with that. And then around the 2005, 2006 mark, it was like, yeah, so it's going to be Helena Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp. There's going to be some gothic shit. It'll be an adaptation of something that's already been
yeah.
done. Alison Wonderland, yeah, that would do.
Someone's head
Danny
cut
Elfman
off.
do the score. Yeah, we'll do that. There'll be some weird
Windmills,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
Johnny Depp shows up. I've got a massive wig on. Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, do that stuff. Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll just do that again for 10 years. And Wes Anderson feels like the same way. He's like, yeah, really, really weird symmetrical building. Just I don't know, Bill Murray. Yeah, Bill Murray. Yeah, we'll get him in it. Yeah, we'll do Bill Murray.
Well, but because I know everyone hated the French Dispatch, and I actually really
Oh,
enjoyed
so I
it.
like that one.
Okay, good. You're me then.
I liked the Benicio del Toro storyline because it was really funny. I quite like the Jeffrey Wright one. Basically, I didn't like the first one with Timmy Chalamet. I thought it was boring.
I like
Oh,
them all. I like them all actually.
I
I
get
thought the
it.
Timmy Chalamet one was boring. I thought the one where Del Toro was like a crazy artist and Leah Sadu was just like the prison guard that was always naked for no reason. I thought that was
She was the
quite funny.
model. She was the muse.
Before I forget, maybe we should do Wes Anderson for your Reclaiming the Rotten.
Yeah,
That's what I was
maybe.
gonna do. I picked Wes
What is
Anderson
Oh,
and
did
his?
you? All right.
What is
yeah.
his rotten?
It's Life Aquatic, but I didn't want to ruin it because that's the
I
that's
like
the one
Life
I
Aquatic. That's actually one of my favourite ones.
I also love Life Aquatic. Do you know what? As I was gonna say, like going back to his films, and I agree with you on the Tim Burton curse. I actually, even though I love them, the Coen brothers were heading that way, but then they decided to not make films together.
You know
And they
what?
were like, we're gonna escape this trap before it happens.
You know what?
But
Yeah.
Some
Wes
people have said
Anderson
that
is
about
definitely this.
Cohen's, but
Yeah.
I feel like all throughout their career, the Coens they've got a style, but I feel like they never fell into the trap of just doing like Tim Burton just did. Let's do Edward Scissorhands, but in a chocolate factory. Let's do Edward Scissorhands, but it's a musical about a cannibal. Let's do Edward Scissorhands, but it's Alice in Wonderland. Whereas I feel like the Coens always were like, should we do a western? Yeah, let's do a western. Shall we put some humor in it? Yeah, but like really dark humor. Yeah, let's do something a bit different. I feel like they did some different stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like
You're talking about
they
Buster
did challenges.
Scruggs.
Actually, I was talking about
Country.
No Country, where they were like, they've got a style, but I felt like it never truly engulfed their stuff. Apart from
Yeah.
Lady Killers,
Yeah,
which is
because
shit.
we won't talk about Lady
We
Killers.
must have waffles.
No, we must watch the original and appreciate it for what it
Yes, because
is.
it's great.
It's the fucking best. But as I said, with Coen Brothers, they stopped before they fell into a trap. I think if
Yeah.
they'd continued onwards, but also Coen Brothers are very much like they're so laid back and that they don't feel the need to adhere to anybody's rules or whatever. So I don't think they were ever falling into the trap. But I feel like if they'd made any more films together, they may have. That's what I was saying. But Wes Anderson has fallen in his own trap. And there's just an entire like the length of the cast alone doesn't even fit on a poster. And some of these people are only in it for 2 scenes. Just like we don't need this on the poster. We're
One
already
of
enticed by the weirdness. But yeah, I'm just upset that it's going that way. But I will still always stand up for Wes Anderson and his weirdness.
Yeah.
with the Coens, it's quite funny because it's really clear that Joel was the talented one because tried to do a
Dare
Macbeth.
you?
Drive away, Dells. Big old pile of poo poo. And
Yes, but did you read Ethan Cohen's short stories or his plays or his poetry?
We don't read. We can't read.
Oh, okay, this makes sense now.
read? This is a film podcast.
Yeah, but when it's a foreign film with subtitles, what do you do?
Listen to the dub. Hello, I am old boy here to have sexual relations with my daughter. Spoiler alert. I have actually. Do you know what I watched? Funnily enough, speaking of dubs, have you seen Blood Red Sky on Netflix? So it's a vampire film set on an aeroplane, right? But it's got a really international cast. So it's got the guy from Prison Break in it. It's got some like Scandinavian actors and it's got some English actors. And I didn't realize there were two options. So it automatically chose the dubbed version, but there was a subtitled version. And I watched the dubbed version because it just picked it for me. And some of the dubbing on it, like, because the main woman in it is a vampire and I think she's like Swedish or something. But the dubbing's really bad because she looks like she'd have quite a husky voice. And the dub they've got is like, hello, vampire. It's like, you picked the wrong voice actor for this. It's really bad. I actually quite enjoy watching films dubbed.
Wait,
because
what was
it's
this
like
film called?
hilarious. Blood Red Sky.
And the twist is there's vampires on a plane.
You kind of find out very early on that she's a vampire.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I've read something that's similar. And I was like, did they make it and change it slightly?
With the snakes. It had snakes in, didn't it?
Yeah. It had snakes on it. It had snakes on it.
No, I said red. But yeah.
That
Remember, I read. I'm the reader of the group, clearly.
You are the reader. The Kate Winslet film, The Reader. You are the reader.
Yeah, I'm the reader. Look at me.
You are
I'm
the
definitely,
reader.
well, no one can see me, but oh yeah, I'm the reader.
So I've not seen anything just recently, apart from Mission Impossible. I don't really want to talk about it. I don't think it was great. But
shit.
It was okay. It was just
that says volumes. If you've that's the only thing you've seen, you're like, but I don't want to talk about it.
Do you know what I mean, just briefly, I don't know about David, but for me, it was just a case of like Mission Impossible Fallout was so good that a rubbish kind of Terminator film isn't kind of good enough. and I felt like Dead Reckoning was it, but this is like basically the entity, the AI that's gone rogue and taken over the world, is
That's the
basically
plot.
Skynet. Yeah. Did you see Did you see Dead Reckoning?
Is that the first one?
Yeah, the
The first
previous
part.
one.
What?
Yeah.
Are they called Dead Reckoning Part 1 and 2?
No, I changed it.
No, now it's the Final Reckoning.
Oh my
But
God, I hate
basically,
these titles.
Yeah, I saw the film and I forgot what it was called because there's a lot of reckoning going on. It's like
but basically the AI from the first movie, the entity,
it's
takes
confusing.
over the planet, and it's
Do you-
basically a Terminator movie. It's
Do you know what?
Mm,
shit,
I don't
it's
remember
shit.
anything from Dead Reckoning apart from getting really annoyed that they killed off a good character and replaced it with a mediocre as fuck one.
You are going to be really upset at the Final Reckoning because they
Wait, do you know who I'm
do it
talking about?
again.
Because
Yeah, when they killed off that character and they replaced
can we
her
say
with...
it, or is that a spoiler? Because
Yeah,
it's
fuck
been
it.
out long enough.
hello,
yeah, when they killed off,
spoilers.
spoiler alert, when they killed off Rebecca
5.
Ferguson.
Oh, sorry, I didn't get to 1. Oh, sorry, everyone.
Why
They
are
killed-
you
Everyone's
shouting
seen it.
down? But yeah, when they killed off Rebecca Ferguson, and I don't know why they had to go. Was it in Venice they killed her off? And you're just like, you went all the way to. Anyway, when they killed her off, I was just like, this is a really great character, and you're getting rid of your only ace in the pack. And they replaced her with what's her name? I like the actress.
Hayley Atwell.
Hayley Atwell. I love her, but she's terrible. Her character is shit. She's a thief who's crap. It's just I was like,
this film is worse. This film is worse because
it's definitely
who else
worse.
did
And
they kill off?
longer,
Ring
isn't
Rames?
it?
I hope not.
oh my god, it's so long and it takes forever to get going. But basically, the cardinal sin is it does what Marvel films get accused of doing, which is just going. Remember that from that film again?
30 years ago.
Again
in pog form.
Pog form.
There's one character. Sorry, Simpsons reference. Remember
Oh, I
Alf?
thought you meant
He's back.
Pogs. I thought you were talking about
Remember
the Pog
Alf?
game.
He's back in
Oh,
pog
God.
form. You know, it was shit. I'm sorry, Tom. Go back to proper acting. But yeah, it wasn't very
What do you mean
good.
proper acting? I think this is all he can do now. Have you seen his face?
He used to be such a good Collateral, man. That's a movie, Collateral.
Yeah, when was that? Like
long time ago.
Tom Cruise, I think he had a bit of a comeback with what was it, Top Gun Maverick, and then
hated it.
yeah,
No, it's good.
The people liked it, you know. I don't know.
My
Yeah,
mother-in-law's
but,
seen it 4 times. And
to quote Super Hands from
4 times. All right.
To quote Super Hands from Peep Show, yeah, people like the music at Coldplay and voted for Hitler. You can't trust people.
Actually, yeah,
Coldplay.
that's a good point.
Top Gun Maverick well, I'm not going to get into it. I think it's.
I was going to say, don't get into it. This is not the time.
No, I won't get into it. But I think
Top Gun Maverick.
I think it's an actively evil film. But anyway,
actively evil.
I
mean,
I wouldn't get that far.
It's okay. It's the film that the people liked.
The people.
It was almost 3 hours. It should have been 2 hours.
Wait, Top Gun Maverick or
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, because all films now are like, if it's not over 2 hours, it's not a film. Yes, it is. It's a great film if it's under 2 hours.
The first half an hour should have been cut out.
The first half an hour, they just tell you the plot 3 different times by 3 different actors.
No, I'm waiting for VOD.
It's
I'm
really
not going
bad.
to the cinema for this.
Yeah.
It's really bad. But Katie O'Brien does show up for a cameo.
Oh, what a waste. A cameo.
I know. I really wanted to see her do the arm reload thing from Fallout and punch Tom, but she doesn't. She doesn't. She just sort of lingers in the background of a scene. Like,
does this, when you said I'd be disappointed, do you mean I will be disappointed by the lack of Katie O'Brien? What a waste, man. Why is no one giving her a job? Why aren't we seeing her in films?
If you cast someone with guns that fucking big, I want to see Tiny Tom versus Katie O'Brien's Guns of Steel. I wanted to see the two of them proper fight, like he fought Henry Cavill, and instead she just kind of lingers in the background of a scene, and it's like, oh.
Maybe she's going to be the next thing. I don't know. Maybe they're lying. There is going to be another Mission Impossible.
Well, you have to see the end, Katie, to find out.
A new reckoning.
But the thing with this.
Bury somebody.
This one, the big action scenes where it's all the big thing. It's like they went on for so long technically it must be amazing, but watching it, I was like, yeah, you're just underwater, mate, just ducking away from things. Like there doesn't need to be 20 minutes either. It's like,
No. Some
There's
fight
a lot.
scenes are
Do you
really
know
good if
what?
they're short,
yeah.
really
Do you know
short.
what? We should do a spoiler episode where we just discuss all the things that don't make sense or are rubbish. Because I have loads where I'm like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. What's that? Why is this? Who's that? That there's just loads of plot threads. It's like they've thrown a load of plot threads in the air and they've caught two. And
Do you know
it's
what they did?
Terminator and Tom Cruise wants to fly a plane again.
There's these story cubes that you can get. I think they're called Roy's cubes or something. Basically, they have pictures on the cubes, and it's meant to be a hint to what the story could be. So basically, what they did is got these story cubes and just rolled them, and
Probably.
then picked out the ones that looked like Terminator.
I,
What was the other film?
on this, where just Tom Cruise wants to go flying.
And then Tom
Yeah.
Cruise. Yeah.
We get it, Tom. You like planes, but Jesus.
Yeah, that went on for a bit as well. didn't it?
Enough now.
Is he showing off he can drive a helicopter skills?
It's an old biplane, which are cool. Biplanes are cool. Don't get me wrong, they are cool. And Tom Cruise hanging from one and doing his Tom Cruise derp face is quite funny.
Yeah.
But it's just. We'll do a spoiler episode because I've got loads of stuff I want to get off my chest about this.
Can we wait till I've rewatched?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say
Yeah.
I've never seen. So running down the list, I remember Mission Impossible 1, the OG.
Great.
2,
Amazing.
I remember laughing at a lot, so I think I enjoyed it. I've never seen
Lots
Mission Impossible
of slow
3.
motion like backflips in Mission Impossible 2.
And then Dougray Scott. I don't know where he's gone, but back in the day.
They'll blur into one
film,
for me.
That film ruined his career.
Oh,
that film
dear.
ruined his because Dougray Scott. Here's some trivia for you. Dougray Scott had been cast as Wolverine in X-Men and had to drop out because Mission Impossible 2 went over schedule and he couldn't meet the required filming for X-Men. How angry would you be as a human being if you were like, yeah, I'll do Mission Impossible?
I don't know.
And it was, but but you missed out on 25 years worth of money.
But who's to say that Dougray Scott would have been as popular or as good as Hugh Jackman?
That is
yeah.
that's
I think
true.
I would have been like, actually, do you know what? The better man got the job. I think he was.
No, that is true, but
it was fate.
I reckon occasionally he just looks at a DVD copy of Mission Impossible 2 as a bus with Deadpool Wolverine drives past, and he just goes.
I don't know. But I was going to say, so back to the list of ones I've not seen.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 3, never seen it, never will.
Good.
Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol. I only remember this, and I've seen it multiple times because I was working at Blockbuster when it came out on DVD.
This again.
And then I've seen the 5th one. Is that 4?
Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation. I enjoyed that one. And then
it's Fallout.
Then it's is that the one with Henry Cavill?
Yeah, that's the one with Henry Cavill.
That's one of the best.
Okay.
That's one of the best ones, isn't it?
Oh, I was going to say, I thought that was shit.
Oh, worse. You're not going to like the rest of the films then.
No, so basically,
and then I've seen Dead Reckoning.
Yeah,
Mission Impossible I don't remember what happened.
Mission Impossible 1 is great. Mission Impossible 2 is awful. Mission Impossible 3 is really good fun because Philip Seymour Hoffman is the baddie, and he's having a great time. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol is great because it's got the bit where he climbs up the side of the Burj Khalifa.
That's it.
That's a good one.
And then he runs headfirst into a sandstorm for no reason.
It's on his bucket list.
And also, because it was directed by Brad Bird, it's basically a cartoon. There's slapstick, and there's that great bit at the end where he's fighting the villain, and they're on like a car park that has moving platforms, and they're like jumping from like it's Mario. Rogue Nation is okay because it's got Sean Harris as the bad guy.
Yeah,
Ethan, I'm here to get you.
Actually, I have a follow-up question, and it's to do with that guy. But yeah,
Fallout is great because it's got reloading arms, and it's got more. Ethan, I'm back for a second movie. Ethan. Dead Reckoning is fine. Dead Reckoning has one good bit. Where he's at a party, and then the bad guy, whoever he is like, but you could say the entity is everywhere. You could say this party is the entity. And then the entity eye shows up and it goes, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Because I was like, that is basically a Terminator. It is if it wasn't called Mission Impossible, if it was called Terminator, that would be the best Terminator movie.
There was
But
no
I want a
Terminators, though.
Terminator. I want a Terminator to show up and ruin everything.
Yeah, it would
Tom
improve
Cruise
so-
it.
as a Terminator would be a great film. I don't know why no one's done that. Tom Cruise as a Terminator. He's got the right.
No. He's got like several other franchises. He doesn't need this one as well.
He's got two.
He's got whatever. He's got stuff going on.
He's not doing the Mummy anymore.
The death of the dark universe.
I don't want to watch the film, a 3-hour film again, to record a podcast, unfortunately. But you two go crazy.
I haven't seen it, so you'll have to wait till it's on VOD because I don't want to pay for that shit.
What was your question about Sean Harris? Does he show up?
No, my question, you know how like in Bond, Skyfall, was it No, not Skyfall. What was the one after Skyfall? Spectre. Oh, so in that one, you know when they use Spectre to sort of like link all the other Bond movies that Daniel Craig, sorry.
Well, you can see the similarities. It's fine.
David created Spectre.
David is actually blonde.
It was him, Katie, the author of all your pain.
It's because I'm wearing my tuxedo. It's confusing, isn't it?
It's very confusing. Stop stroking that cat.
Matron.
Right. My question is,
as my microphone, by the way.
As Inspector, when they link everything and they're like, everything was connected, and then some people come back and you're just like, why are we doing this? Do the villains from the various different Mission Impossibles ever link back to the Reckoning? Dead or final, otherwise.
It's not like they do, like, it turns out that they were all IMF agents. It's not like that, but there's a lot of what you didn't realize is that thing from that film actually was this, and then that guy was actually doing this with that, and that is why that is that. And you're like, what?
I'm guessing one character has to explain this, and everyone's like, that's so weird. Next scene.
8 different characters explain the same thing. The whole opening of the film is basically the entity has taken control of the world's nuclear weapons, right? What is really hilarious is that they list all the countries with nuclear weapons, and there is a bit where they're like, Israel has nuclear weapons. And it's like, all right, really? Every country except China, Russia, the US, and the UK, they still have control of their nuclear weapons. Could it be that they're the 4 biggest markets for movies? And then there's a countdown.
China won't buy it. Telling you now, China's not buying this.
No, also because they lose control of their nuclear weapons first, then Russia, then the UK, and then finally the US.
Of course, the US is the last man standing.
But it's like the whole film. So they do that. So Angela Bassett shows up and she goes, the entity has control over the world's nuclear weapons. There needs to be something we could do. If we get the access key that's been in the thing flim flam place, we can stop the entity. Then it cuts to Ving Rhames. Ethan, the entity has control over the world's nuclear weapons.
Right, stop right there.
If we can get the 2 keys and do the flim flam thing, and then it cuts to.
Stop.
It's a load of nonsense because
Tom Cruise goes, we need to get the keys because the entity has got the world's nuclear weapons. Like, I know the entity has the nuclear weapons. I know this, Tom. Just get in the submarine, man. Just get
I have another question.
Scientologist stars in the sub with your kit off. Go now. Stop wasting my time.
What does IMF actually stand for?
Impossible Missions Force.
What? That's awful. Then what was there was one that began with M, the MFI or MIF?
No, it's always been the IMF. They've always been the IMF.
It's always been the IMF.
Yeah.
I swear I remember Alec Baldwin saying something else.
There is a great bit in Mission Impossible 3 where Tom Cruise has retired and has married Michelle Monaghan, and he's no longer in the IMF. And then they come to recruit him for a mission because Philip Seymour Hoffman's a bad guy. And then he's like, he has to explain who he is. And he goes, I was lying when I said to you that I was just an accountant. I'm actually a member of the IMF. That's the Impossible Missions Force. And she goes, really? That's what it's called?
Yeah, that's my reaction.
And it's like, Yeah, that's what it's called. It does what it says. They're a force that do impossible missions. That's what it is, man.
But it's not impossible. But isn't that just Black Ops? Jesus.
It's impossible.
Well, the fact that he solves these problems proves that they weren't impossible. They were just
Yeah,
very, 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 very difficult.
Also, are they the only? I want to say IVF, IMF.
They have the IVF. That is the true impossible mission: is to go into a person and plant a baby and get out of there, Tom.
Yeah,
You
that's
gotta,
actually
you
that
gotta
should
put the
actually
baby
be.
in the woman. She wants a baby, and you gotta get in there, plant the baby.
Sadly for some people, it is impossible to have babies, even with
This,
IVF.
yes, it
That's
is.
Jesus Christ.
that's the next impossible mission film, also known as Mission Impossible.
For Tom Cruise to solve infertility across the world.
Oh my God. Yeah, see, that's an impossible mission. Like trying to get the Skynet, the fake Skynet to behave or whatever it's
to
about.
to behave like he's going to tell it off and send it to bed. Go to your room. Go to your room. Don't be taking over the world's nuclear weapons now.
You know what I
Enough of that.
mean? You know, I've forgotten what I was going to say now.
I would love. Do you know what? I want that to be in like the next Marvel film where someone's like, "You need to get in there and tell that bad guy to behave. Tell Doctor Doom to behave himself."
Stop it! Stop it!
I'm Galactus. No, get the Galactus now. Hey, no.
I'm excited about Fantastic Four. I might be the only one actually. Yeah,
it looks great. It looks pretty good.
I'm not normally bothered.
It's got Ralph Ineson as a giant celestial man with a helmet.
It's going to be the best about.
It's and his actual face.
I know this man has the most incredible voice. Like it's just like this is his role. It doesn't matter if the film is shit. Sorry, David.
Well, it might be, might not be.
And I hope that I hope he doesn't do an
voice.
American accent. I hope he's doing his like. Where's he from? Yorkshire or something?
I hope he just keeps his normal accent because it's threatening enough, you know. That
and then tries to sell everyone
the universe.
And he just goes, Dacha. And everyone's like, oh, it's Galactus.
That's perfect. You know how some people are just like, that is who they should have cast originally. That is Galactus. Yeah, amazing voice.
Honestly, because a load of people I knew were like, who's Ralph Ineson? And I was like, watch The Green Knight and you'll realize that he was perfect as Galactus. He is so good. Yeah, no, that is Marvel. You hit like whoever went, Ralph Ineson should be Galactus. I hope you got like a 4-day weekend.
Yeah, I hope we all get 4-day weekends.
Like the person whoever edited the trailer for 28 years later. I hope you got a nice bonus.
I was going to say, just to throw in another perfectly cast person just on their voice and for comedic reasons, Will Arnett as Lego Batman.
Will Arnett as Batman.
It's perfect because it's taking the piss, but also that's just his voice. Sorry,
really dark gray. Nope. Darkness.
Yeah.
No parents. The Lego movie was so much better than it had any right to be. So good. And do you know what? Lego Movie 2 is okay, actually.
I agree.
It's got that great song where she's trying to seduce all of them to join her side. And she's like, Benny, do you like spaceships? Loving spaceships is my one defining trait.
It's perfect. It's perfect. But yeah, sorry, just to throw that in there because I was like, what's really another perfectly voiced, voice casting? That
Bill Murray as Garfield.
Yes. Oh my God. Absolutely.
Bad movie, but Bill Murray as Garfield was perfectly cast.
I made my auntie take me to the cinema when that first came out because I was like, I love Bill Murray and I love Garfield. These two things together make sense. And she got so annoyed.
I had to go to the new one with my daughter.
My 6-year-old loves the new Garfield, and as a result, loves lasagna. He loves lasagna, and so now he's like, Daddy, look, I'm Garfield. I love lasagna. I'm like, I like lasagna too, but I'm not a lazy cat with an issue with. It should have been Matt Berry. Matt Berry should have been the voice of Garfield.
Oh my God, that would have been so much better.
But he should have been allowed to swear. He should have been basically. I just want Toast of London as a cat.
That actually pretty good. He should have his own character. He should have been like on toast and being like this black and white cat. It just came in. I was like, oh,
I
sorry,
I like
dropped
him
my
in
mic.
I like him in Wild Robot as the beaver.
So
I like
good.
Wild Robot. Wild Robot was.
Love Wild Robot. Now we're just saying like, I like that movie. Me
Yeah.
too.
I like films.
I
Good
like
thing
lots of
we write for a
films.
film magazine, isn't it?
We've gone off the deep end. Sorry, it was my fault bringing up Lego Batman.
I'm gonna go back to and say, yeah, I don't want to talk about Mission Impossible.
Next Sunday, I am seeing How to Train Your Dragon live action.
You're going.
I am going. I'm taking my 6-year-old.
Bastard. Bastard. I wanted to go.
Do you know what's even worse though?
Oh.
I'm working Saturday 9 to 5. Then I'm going up to London and doing the Picture House potluck all-nighter 5 movies.
Don't do that.
Then I'm gonna go home, shower, grab my 6-year-old, and go watch How to
Paul.
Train Your Dragon at the IMAX.
Paul, be responsible and
Nah,
get rid of that. Get rid of that all-nighter. You're gonna regret that.
Yeah, because it
I'm
might be
not.
shit.
We might be, but there might be some good movies, man. One time they showed Shrek 2. Banger.
All night. Just watch it at home
What
in
kind
the
of
daytime.
potluck? Okay, potluck, is
It's
it
just
literally just any old shit?
It's just 5 random movies. That's the joy.
So basically 5 films that they were cheap enough to pick up.
It could be anything.
Yeah,
it could be Voyage of the Demeter.
It could
be The Mummy from 1999 or The Mummy from 2017.
You can watch The Last Voyage of the Demeter on Prime without having to sit through some other things. Oh, wait, there was one thing I was going to mention. You can have this as that I haven't seen. Basically, there was
good recommendation. You've not seen it.
Just really random, but so I noticed that a long time coming. You know the whole Poonaverse with all the horror films based on Twisted Childhood,
Blood and Honey,
Honey, the Neverland one.
Oh yeah.
There's a Piglet spin-off. There's a
Green
Pinocchio
Boats.
one. Yeah, there is also not associated with this group. I don't think. It's been in the works for a while and they've threatened it, but there's actually a horror version of Popeye.
Oh yeah, I saw.
It's called Shiver Me Timbers.
Isn't it out already?
I thought it was called Popeye the Slayer Man.
Nope, they changed it to Shiver Me Timbers because I'm not quite sure if they had the rights to call it Popeye the Slayer Man.
Oh, is that not public domain yet?
I don't know. They're doing the film and the CGI looks absolutely awful. The trailer alone will make you want to gouge your eyes out.
Put it on the cover of the next magazine.
This is what, like, these ones that are out of copyright. There's like fine lines, isn't there? Of like Disney are gonna go hard on anyone if it's touching anything that
Popeye is not Disney.
No, not Disney, but you know what I mean.
No,
the companies that did have the rights are gonna get them somehow. It's like the
it's
original Popeye didn't have a pipe, but you've added our pipe, so we're suing you.
Yeah.
Do you know what? There's a lot of those because there's certain ones with Peter Pan where they're like, that was a Disney invention of it, not a J.M. Barrie thing. And same with Winnie the Pooh, where they're like, actually, I can't remember which one it is, but it's
the red top.
Like Winnie the Pooh. I think it's the red top, where it's like actually A.A. Milne had him in a blue top, but they put it in red for the Disney because
in the books he doesn't wear a top.
He's naked.
Is he not a top?
No.
Oh, well, there we go. So that's it. So the red top is an invention of Disney.
Yeah, X-rated.
So it's like Steamboat Willie. The Steamboat one is like Steamboat Willie's out of copyright, but Mickey Mouse isn't. So you can't actually call him Mickey. So he can't have the gloves. He can't have the trousers.
He doesn't have the gloves in the picture. No.
This is why we need Liz, because she was a copyright lawyer. But copyright is fucking weird, man.
But it also opens the door for more shit to be made, unfortunately.
Yeah. Also, just because you can make a Winnie the Pooh horror film doesn't mean that you probably should.
Exactly.
Just because you can make a Grinch horror movie doesn't mean that you need to make a Grinch horror movie. No. And also, if you are going to make a Grinch horror movie, why don't you make a good one? Why don't you make, like, Winnie the Pooh as a horror film could be really funny and really interesting. And like, there isn't it like that Christopher Robin film. If you tweaked it a bit, that could be a really scary horror film where a middle-aged man who gave up on his toys, the toys are back and they're like, you abandoned us and we want blood. That could be a really funny horror, in the mold of like Gremlins or something. That could
That
be
would have been
really
good.
good. Like
That would have
Small
been better.
Soldiers. Instead, it's a fat middle-aged guy in a Winnie the Pooh mask stabbing naked women, and it's like, so basically, you made
He's a
every
slasher.
slasher film ever,
I made it
but one
worse.
guy, but one guy's got a plastic pig mask on, and one's got a plastic bear mask on.
Yeah.
What
I
do
think
you
they're meant to be
fucking do?
anthropomorphic, aren't they? But like, it just doesn't.
It,
It doesn't
Christopher
work.
Robin as a horror film would have been so. Imagine Ewan McGregor having to defend his wife and child from a cuddly bear that's like, I don't want the taste of honey. I want the taste of blood.
Did the people that make them like have a background in these films, or is they just did horror? Now they're like,
I don't know. It's kind of like about 5 steps down from the asylum, but in the UK.
The wonderful thing about Tig is it can claw your face off. Would have been great.
And on that note,
yeah. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Go on, Paul.
thank you for listening.
That's all the time we've got this week for the Film Hounds film podcast, film show, film extravaganza. We'd like to thank all of you for
film
listening.
show, yeah.
Film
Sorry.
show,
Film
movies,
show.
movies, the talkies, the motion pictures, the flicks, the old cinemagraph. We want to thank you for listening. Please subscribe and tell your friends if you like it. And you can find us on filmhounds.co.uk where you get links to all of our social channels. We're also a print magazine, and you can buy us once again on that website. And it's great. We've got loads of interesting interviews, articles, reviews, stuff like that. So until the next time, take care of yourself. Be kind. And remember that we contain multitudes. Goodbye.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, what? The end. Stop recording.
Psychopath. My tuxedo. It's confusing, isn't it?
It's very confusing. Stop stroking that cat.